It's me. I just wanted to say hi and welcome you to my Etsy, e-commerce, eBay, all things selling online newsletter. And I know you saw the other one. I send usually about one message a week. Sometimes if you're on this special newsletter, you might get two a week, but never more than that. And I'm not a big and like let's call it spade a spade. I don't send out the real one every week. But what I have is all kinds of information about how to price your listings, how to take great product photography, how to do research on your product, how to figure out what to sell, how to all the different bits and bobs of doing e-commerce marketing. And the way that I've gotten good at this is I do have, I've had an online store for years. It was much smaller. It was on my website. So I do have an actual standalone Shopify site, and that is where all the traffic from my main website, which is pretty large, it gets about 25,000 hits a month, goes to. So I direct all of the people from there to the Shopify site. So that's kind of my low-hanging fruit, right? People already have read articles, they know me, they like me, they trust me, that kind of thing. But so then a friend suggested that I should try Etsy, and I thought, I'm not going to try Etsy. Like, nobody in the marketing world wants to try Etsy. And so that's why I did it. I thought, oh my gosh, how fun would this be to try? And so I started my Paperly People store, and that's for my entrepreneurs. It has a lot of different forms and things like that that they can do digital download. And for the upcoming holiday season, I'm actually going to be doing some physical products on there, some necklaces for different industries that are still part of the ones that I target. So I'll have like a cute Etsy necklace or an eBay necklace and I got to see if I can do that. Of course, everything you got to check. But so I have that. And then I also have a vintage Etsy store, which is called So Glamorously Vintage. And I just love that one. That one is so fun. It's kind of my hobby because I love going and sourcing the things. I get away from my children and my family. I get to go drive around and be alone in dirty barns and things like that, which makes me so happy. Not just the being alone, but digging around in junk. And so I am kind of committed to figuring out different new things about social media, about photography, like we said, about how to position your products, how to write product descriptions, things like that. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sending you some of these over the next few weeks and just letting you know some of the things that I've discovered. What I found is whenever somebody would come on my newsletter, I'm like, yay, they love me. And I would think, oh, they're starting in the same place as people who have known me for a really long time. And then come to find out I would say things in the new newsletters and they would be like, oh, I don't even know what she's talking about. And then they would be sad, and that wasn't good for me. So functionally, I'm going to give you kind of a really good overview of everything that I've kind of talked about in the past, and maybe that'll help you along the line. Sometimes if you're say you're a Shopify guy and you're like, okay, I signed up for this Chick's email newsletter, it may not all apply to you because some of it may apply to Etsy. And then you may be an Etsy gal and say, she's talking about eBay stuff, it doesn't apply. Feel free to delete any of my newsletters without reading them. That having been said, I will say that I have learned more about doing Etsy marketing from an eBay podcast, right? Like their way of thinking and their way of sourcing and things like that is really good. And that's the Scavenger Life podcast if you want to find a really good one. I have learned more about being a shop owner, whether it be for Shopify or some other e-commerce platform, from the Etsy Conversations podcast with my friend Ijama, because they talk to the shop owners and it's more about your feelings and how you feel about starting it and what you did and your success stories and things like that. So please, keep an open mind. Let me know if you can always hit reply. Seriously. If I talk about something and you're like, I don't know what that is, or I don't understand it, I'm always happy to answer. And sometimes what happens is I get some of my best blog posts from somebody who's asked a question, and then I start thinking, and then I go and research it and talk about it so everybody can help. Last but not least, there is a Facebook group that we have for Etsy and eBay. Nobody will talk about Shopify. So, but we're talking about e-commerce, and I will make sure to put a link to that below so that you can join that Facebook group. It's free, and it's just a great bunch of people, super supportive, all positive. We don't have any, it's a no crying group. So we're not going to be hashing over the latest calamity on any of the platforms. We just get in there, we talk about our successes, we share any resources that we find, and I would love to see you there. So thanks for coming. I will be sending you some emails over the next few weeks, like I said, and if you have any questions, shoot me an email at tara@marketingartfully.com.